Hello to those joining us today for our Perioperative Practice webinar. So I'm Lily, I'm the Senior Marketing Assistant at UDOL, and I'm joined today by our Lecturer in Nursing Studies, Brian Smith. And today we're going to talk about the Perioperative Practice programme that we do at the University of Derby Online Learning. So I will be recording this session today so you can watch it back in your own time, or you can share it with other people that you know that may be interested in this programme. So to begin with, I'd just like to briefly talk about us. We are the University of Derby Online Learning, and that's the online distance learning division of the University of Derby. To help put this into context, the University of Derby can trace its heritage all the way back to 1851, and for our international guests today, we are located in an area called the Midlands in the UK, and we're pretty much in the middle of the country, as you can see on this map. We gained university status in 1992, so last year we celebrated our 25-year anniversary. We currently have over 34,000 students studying with us, and we employ over 3,000 people across our campuses in Derby and Buxton. The University of Derby is a modern university that provides teaching that is informed by research and is focused on delivering real-world experiential learning. We're expanding all of the time and have invested £150 million in our facilities in the last 10 years. Teaching quality and student experience are at the heart of everything that we do. We are delighted to be awarded Gold in the new Teaching Excellence Framework, placing us in the top 20% of all UK universities for consistently outstanding teaching and learning outcomes for our students. In the Times Good University Guide, we are recognised as a top 20 university for our teaching quality. They also rate us as a top 10 performer for student welfare. We're also proud of our care of the environment. We're an accredited fair trade university, so we send none of our waste to landfill, and we generate clean energy on our campus through wind turbines and solar panels. As I've already mentioned, the University of Derby Online Learning, or UDOL for short, is the thriving distance learning division of the university. Since 2001, the University of Derby has offered 100% online distance learning to students who require more flexible study options. We learnt to tailor our courses specifically for online delivery, and in 2011, UDOL was born. Our online students are from all around the world, representing over 100 different nations. Between 2012 and 2016, over 12,000 distant learning students have studied with the University of Derby. They study our vast online course portfolio of undergraduate and postgraduate courses, together with a growing number of professional development, short courses, and free courses. Many of our courses are accredited by professional bodies, meaning that they are recognised by industry and valued by employers. These are hugely attractive to many of our students. This course is endorsed by the Association for Perioperative Practitioners. Sorry there, wording's a bit tricky. Across the world, online learning is growing in popularity, and in studying with us here at UDOL, you'd be joining an ever-increasing number of online learners across the globe. The Distance Education Enrollment Report in 2017 includes some statistics that underline just how popular online learning is in the United States. For example, 30% of all students in higher education in the US are now taking at least one distance learning course. So you may be wondering, as an online student, how we can support you. So through our vast experience and expertise, we have been able to deliver a virtual campus experience enriched with support for you during your studies. Your academic team will provide your tutoring and academic support. Our academics have a wealth of experience and knowledge to be shared with you. We have a team of academics who are based here in Derby and are responsible for leading and managing our programmes. We then have a wider team of tutors who are based all over the country that will teach you on specific modules, bringing their own experience from industry or practice with relevant case studies to enrich your learning. We have our online learner advisors as well, who are there to help you with non-academic issues, such as advising on your study plans or any practical help that you might need. Once you've enrolled onto your course, you will be assigned a named advisor who will be your primary contact throughout your studies. As a student of the University of Derby, you are also entitled to support from other wellbeing services, our Careers Employment Service, and our IT support. We continue to invest heavily in our e-library, where you'll have access to a range of ebooks and journals. Also, if you are studying a bachelor's degree, top-up degree, or postgraduate qualification, you'll be invited to attend the University of Derby graduation ceremony in Derby. These take place twice a year in July and November and are a fabulous day when you can really celebrate your achievement with friends and family, and it's a chance where you can meet your fellow students and the academic teams who have been with you on your student journey. Our courses are designed to enable you to study online. You can study anywhere in the world, for example, during your commute, in your office, with your family, in your local cafe, or even outside on a sunny day. You can study at any time on the device of your choice. Here you can see a couple of our students explaining their choice to study online and how they found it useful in their particular circumstances. Right, now I'm going to pass you over to Brian, who can tell you a little bit more about the perioperative practice course that we've got.
Many thanks. It's great to be here and be able to tell you about this particular program itself. First of all, let me just take you through what we hope to cover this afternoon. So today's webinar, we're going to talk about the course itself, the module content. We're going to introduce you to the academic team that's involved in running this great and unique program. Also, we want to give you a bit of an overview of what it's like to be an online student in this perioperative program itself. Also, some of the resources we'll share with you, tell you what we use, why we use them, and give you a chance to actually ask any questions towards the end of this webinar. So let me move on and just introduce you to the team itself. So the program is co-led by Vicky Cockrell, who is an accomplished academic with a mental health background, as well as myself, Brian Smith. A little bit about me. I've got 32 years of experience, still practicing today as a perioperative practitioner, but also an educator within the University of Derby Online Learning. And at the same time, I work with the government level to look at standards in perioperative practice. But if that isn't enough, I'm the educational lead for the Association for Perioperative Practice and hold a National Teaching Fellowship Award. So with that background and many more of my colleagues who join us in the actual online program itself, we will give you a very enriched learning experience here at UDAL. So the course itself is aimed at those who work in the operating department, such as operating department practitioners, registered nurses, and other people such as endoscopists or perhaps ward nurses who are looking assessment. But we also reach out to organisations such as mercy ships, military, those who work in the perioperative environment, perhaps in remote locations internationally. So this program is designed on an international educational setting and invites you, the practitioner in your country, in your experience, to share what you've learnt, as well as look at some of the changes in the UK. So some of the things that we like to do with this particular program is that we want to develop your critical thinking ability to use evidence to actually underpin your practice. See from the research that's out there where practice can change and where it can be improved to actually develop safer surgery for the patients. Also, what we want to do is develop practitioners who can demonstrate that critical competence in clinical practice. So it's about questioning why we do things in certain ways, but also how we care for the patient, whether that's medicine or whether that's psychological care. At the same time, we also develop your leadership in practice, about leading teams. How do you become high-performing teams within the operating department setting, but equally look at the comprehensive knowledge that relates to caring for a patient in the operating department, but also within other aspects within the hospital setting too. So we will not just develop you as an independent individual, but also a comprehensive individual who can contribute to team performance. And the way we do that is we have designed this program structure in a sequential way, but also it can be done eclectically. You can take modules in different sequences, but we suggest that you follow this sort of pattern where you start looking at integrating practices. In other words, looking at the evidence that's out there and why it actually supports what we do best in caring for our patients. The modules in front of you, you can see the 6 modules in particular, and the orange modules are ones that are shared modules across different programs, and the ones that are in the turquoise colour in the middle, mentoring and practice, as well as care for the surgical patient, managing the acutely ill patients, are designed to run drivers, international drivers, around how we actually care for those patients. So it's a structured program that gives you that flexibility where you can actually study at your own pace and in your own way. But we also run a series of webinars before each of the modules to give you that sort of taster of what's coming up within the module itself. And we have formative assessments that test your interaction, your ability, your thinking along the whole journey, and towards the end of each module there is a formative assessment. One of the things that we do use is we use virtual patients to help you try to reconcile the opportunities here. And one of the biggest benefits is that you can gain a recognisable UK degree from using your experience, integrating it within this particular programme with the virtual patients within with the academic colleagues as well. So it is a UK recognised degree. It's endorsed qualification by, as we've heard already, the Association for Perioperative Practice, who are the leaders in the field of standard setting, as well as supporting the education in international education in operating departments. It's a flexible study around your work commitments and certainly your family commitments too. So this allows you to balance up your aspirations as well as the opportunities for your family as well. Peer collaboration in the online international forum is one of the critical elements to this particular program, and it's one of the very vibrant and opportunities, and you'll find that many of us spend lots of time in there debating and collaborating on what we see as the right evidence for practice as well. So that is a very lively discussion. You'll find that it is live, but also it's asynchronous, where you can leave a message and people will come back to it in text format as well. We also invite some of our international medical colleagues to talk about their surgical work or their anaesthesia, because anaesthesia has changed over the years, and certainly surgery has become much more complex and technical. So what we try to do is bring in the experts from different countries to actually share what they do for particular operation types. And also give you a chance, give you a forum where you can ask questions that you may never have asked before when seeing these type of operations. So we do and see this as a multi-professional collaboration between not just the students, but also clinicians working in different global settings. And as I've mentioned before, we do use virtual patients, so we give you case histories of patients, and we ask you to think about the alternative types of care for that particular patient, perhaps a working diagnosis or differential diagnosis that may have been looked at before the patient is actually scheduled for surgery. So this is a real immersive experience, so that you can actually take away the learning and apply it into your own operating department. What you can expect from the first term, well, one of the biggest things that you'll notice differently in this online program is that there's regular communication with the tutors and with each other. So you're not alone, you're not studying at a distance, you're actually studying in a collaborated way with other like-minded individuals who are learning more and more about operating department setting. So you'll find that you'll be in touch with your tutor on each module 5 times per week. There will be around about 2 to 3 live sessions per module. Sometimes there's more because we bring guest speakers in to do live sessions. So you'll find that this is very similar to being in a classroom, but much more interactive and in an online fashion. And we use Blackboard Collaborate to do these sort of interactive sessions. You have an opportunity to raise your hand and actually ask questions, or you can use your microphone to ask those questions too if you have one. You don't necessarily need one, but the point that we're making here is that it's your program, it's your opportunity to ask the questions that you wish to ask. Learning activities that we use multiple different ways of trying to point the point across. We sometimes use interactive 3D dimensional diagrams, as well as interactive anatomy and physiology that you can deconstruct, take apart, and also rebuild as well. There's also discussion boards where we will take a particular topic and perhaps apply action learning sets where there is support from others around and you actually try to resolve the problem. So there's a bit of problem solving exercises, and you'll find that it's not just about students learning, the tutors also take part and they learn at the same time as you do. Formative assessments are a great way to actually help develop your thinking, develop your learning. So at any point in time, you can actually ask questions, but you can also give your opinion, perhaps on your interpretation of research that you've read in the latest paper as well. At the end of the module, there's always a summative assignment, and some of those summative assignments are very varied, but the main purpose here is to actually develop a summative assignment that makes a difference and makes more sense to actually apply something that will work in the operating department. So we ask you to look at case studies. We look at patients that you've cared for and patients that you have reflected upon. Perhaps you decided that you'll approach that patient pathway in a different way next time, but this is an opportunity to actually show an evidence-based approach in your care. Study essentials relate to public health modules, etc., and also dementia care is an integral theme within this particular program because we're seeing much more patients come into the operating department with levels of dementia, and what we're trying to do is introduce you to ways and means of being able to cope with those patients or deal with those patients in the operating department. So just moving on, so how will you'll interact as much as we'll interact? Well, as I briefly mentioned before, there's multiple methods of interacting, and you'll find that it's fully online. It is very much interprofessional, and certainly last year when we ran this program, we had people from different countries, but also different backgrounds, and also from different departments working in hospital settings or treatment centres. And the conversations were very effective because they helped to move forward into the simulated activities that we have with virtual patients. The groups formed, groups were able to problem solve together, and help share information that they've read as well. So some of the research papers that one person may have read has actually been shared with another, which helps towards building up the body of knowledge that you might take back into your practice. One of the biggest things I would say about this particular program, and one of the exciting things about this program, is the collaboration that happened last year, and that was intentional. We wanted to see much more collaboration. Operating departments work collaboratively, and what we like to do is replicate what you do in practice by working together with others, and that was certainly one of the exciting and biggest benefits that the students said about this particular program. We also will have some activities that will stretch your digital skills. We'll ask you to look at finding a piece of research, and we'll get you to search databases such as EBSCO and CINAHL, etc., looking for that evidence, and then critiquing the evidence and seeing where it does apply in standard setting in the operating theatre. Live sessions will take place, and as you can see on screens, this is just some of the coursework we ask you to do, and we sometimes divide it into coursework 1 and coursework 2, and you can see that we cover the learning outcomes 1, 2 and 3 in this particular instance with different weightings on the actual assessment. We draw upon lots of reading lists. In particular, there's lots of perioperative books out there internationally that we like to use, and we've developed a reading list at UDOL, and you'll find all those resources in the UDOL library, which are easily accessible as electronic library resources. There is actually no need to take out a book because the resources are available in electronic format at a distance. The library services are there also to help and support your ability to find that literature, but also they're very good at supporting your academic writing too. Perhaps it's referencing that you might feel there's a weakness area. Well, the library have resources that help you write towards the University of Derby's Harvard referencing system. So there's some live sessions available from the library team that you can book onto and find that will benefit your actual writing your final assignment. So the next part for us is that we start the next module in the 29th of January. we're really keen to see applications, and we invite you to actually put your application forward for the Sunday, the 14th of January. It's vital that you get heads up on this and get your application in straight away, because this is an extremely popular program, and we like to process you quickly so that we can get you into the first module so you can start your learning straight away. So please do put your application forward now. The enrolment is open, and we will also then help you make the first payment or work out the payment options that are available to you. So at enrollment stage, we can actually give you any general advice that you're looking for. We can help you read through the module guides and also make sure that you understand exactly what's expected of you for this program. You can also ask questions, and you can have those questions answered by the tutors, such as myself or Vicky. But equally, you might find that you would just prefer an email. We're happy to do that too. We're here for you to clarify anything that you require from this program. So it's that point of the webinar where we want to ask you if you have any questions.
Thanks for that, Brian. So if you do find that you have got any questions for us, please do get in contact with us. You'll be able to find our contact details on our website. So it's our telephone number is 01332 59 4000, and if you'd like to send us an email, it is udaltinquiries@derby.ac.uk. So just to recap that, our application deadline for the next term is this Sunday coming, so that's Sunday 14th of January, and term will start on the 29th of January. That's a Monday. So if you'd like to apply online, you go to derby.ac.uk/online and apply now to secure your place. If you would like some more information about the University of Derby and how online learning works within that university, you can access our guide to online learning on the website. And again, if you would like to contact us, here's all the details that you need. And that's a big thanks for us, and thank you for listening, and please do share with anyone that you think may be interested in this course.